think it's about time, 'cause for 18 years I've been schooling all day, learning my lessons, throwing homework away. Now for 19 years I've been making new friends, some of them last and some of them end. We're young, we're free, summer's begun, so come run with me. Yeah, we're young and we're free, it's time to lay us down and go swimming in the sea. 20-something just don't feel right, how the hell can we sleep at night? It's time to kiss our childhood goodbye. We're 20-something, so enjoy the ride.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ryan, and welcome back to our last episode of 20-somethings. I'm here with Rob, Maya, and Maddie. Let's just jump into today's episode. So to start off, we're going to be talking about Brittany Griner and how. Brittany Griner is a two-time Olympic gold medalist, as well as a pro basketball player, and she spent nearly 10 months in custody in Russia for allegedly having, I believe it was cannabis oil in a vape cartridge. And like I said, she spent 10 months there and was just recently released. Thanks to the help of many Black women and their organizations. But what do you guys think of everything, and especially with how long it took?
I'm definitely happy that we were able, or whoever was in charge of that was able to get Brittany back home. It definitely was a scary situation. I think no one really knew how long it would take, or if she would just be stuck there. But I think it was really an awful situation overall. I read that they had to cut her hair off when she was in prison in Russia because it literally kept getting wet, and it was so cold there, and she just kept getting the flu repeatedly. So they literally just cut all of her hair off, which is terrifying. So I'm definitely happy that they were able to bring her back home. And it's cool that she is now kind of she said that she's dedicating herself to helping free other people that were wrongly imprisoned in other countries. So that's definitely interesting to see.
My whole thought on the whole thing is it's kind of weird how she got released in terms of they had to do a prisoner swap. But also the prisoner swap did not really seem like it was really an ethical thing. In terms of the Russian that we gave back to Russia was a pretty dangerous person and a big cyber threat. From what I read, and I don't know. It just puzzles me honestly. Why did it have to go to that extreme where you had to release an actual dangerous person back to Russia? For a basketball player, I mean, thank goodness she's back. Never want her to be in that situation in the first place and have to deal with, foreign policies and all that stuff. But was there any other way to know? I'm just thinking, what happened in the negotiation plans? Did he just kind of give, did they just kind of give up? Or
well, I would say this is the negotiation. If it took 10 whole months to get to a conclusion of this, I just found his name was Victor Bout. I don't know how to pronounce, but he's been serving in jail for 25 years. So with tensions high in the world, especially around Russia, I feel like this may have been part of throw a bone to them if they this was, I think, more important on our end of getting her back home safely after I don't know if it was wrongful or not, but the crime is minuscule and would result on a slap in the wrist here in the US. So this may have been a greater win for Russia, but I think overall, she should have come home. She shouldn't have been in that situation.
I'm also, my only thing is there's other US, people there. I don't know. It just feels like US could have fought for the other people that's also stuck in Russia, but since Brittany had so much media attention, it was kind of they had to no matter what.
Yeah, but I think her crime definitely did not fit her punishment. I get that different countries have their different laws and whatnot, but for what she did, how Ryan said, it was so minuscule to what she was put through and how unfair it was. And what Robert said, I thought, yeah, we couldn't negotiate with swaps like that. And we literally traded a dude called the Merchant of Death for a WNBA star. And it's just, I was like taken aback when I saw all this like coming out, because it took all of that just to get her home. And she didn't really do anything. She didn't do anything violent. She wasn't harming anyone else. And I think it's just a very weird and also, scary situation for her to be in. And I'm happy she's home.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely happy that she's home. It's just kind of like crazy, like that. What the extremes had to go to get her back. Like Russia really kind of knew what they could do with the power and the attention.
Yeah, that's a good question. 20-somethings TV. I don't know. I hope this isn't a trend we see in the future of just kind of, okay, you let this person who could like not wrongfully convicted, but or could have been wrongfully convicted in the future if this does continue, but minor penalty, and we will release someone who we've been wanting to help us back for a while. That would, I don't know. It just, hopefully it's not a trend we see in the future.
And it's kind of using foreign policies against each other, and what's accepted here is not as accepted in other countries. So that's just kind of my whole thing. I think it's hopefully not a trend, but it definitely could be if countries want to start overpowering one another through just foreign policies.
That honestly would like make sense for Russia too, because I feel like Russia's known for being like so cutthroat. And especially now, like everything going on with like them in Ukraine, I feel like they're kind of just like guns blazing like everywhere at anyone. And honestly, I mean, it's terrible. Like no one should ever do it, but that would be like a smart move on their part to be like, oh, we'll give us like one of our people, and then like we'll give you like Britney back. Like honestly, that is not like a dumb move for them to make, and I feel like it's definitely not out of character for them. So I feel like right now, like especially like the whole thing with Putin, everyone's saying he's like sick and like he just wants to go out like guns blazing. Like if that's true, like it would make total sense.
It would. Hopefully we don't have to see that. But moving on to a lighter topic, Maddie is showing off his video that he did outside of class. Maddie, do you have a few words to describe what you did?
Yeah, it's pretty much about like two of the things I do regarding like clothes and exotic cars. Kind of two things that are like work and also a hobby, and it takes place in Houston, which is why I just moved here. And it's just something I'm very passionate about, and I hope you guys enjoy my little video.
Awesome. Let's take a look.
What's good, everybody? It's Maddie. Yeah, so what I wanted to talk about is I work for a fashion company, Exotic Car Rental, and as of right now, life development, this Friday, I'm moving to Texas from New York. Big move. But yeah, so let's talk about the fashion company to start off. Pretty much what I do is we buy whatever duffel bag you want of authentic material, and then we can make it into whatever you want. So an example is like this. These are some shorts made with like Dior material and we charge per the material, where we cut it out by hand and then we stitch it on. Those are somewhat mock-ups because everything you want is custom to you. Like it's not small, medium, large. It's literally your waist size, whatever you need. And then another thing is this is one of our most famous pieces. And there's a story behind it too, and I'm happy to share it. This was actually, because I'm mutual friends with rappers from New York. And this was for Pop Smoke, rest his soul. I never got to meet him, I wish I did. But they let me keep this because when we designed it, I was supposed to like give it to him. And then I've been in music videos, to be in music videos with him. And he was taken away before we could see him get his flowers and whatnot. So yeah, so what we did here is we took a vest, and then it's just like this duffel bag. It's like a matching piece. We cut up the bag and then placed it perfectly, stitched it on. And then what we also did is, so Pop wanted a 97 on it, so when he asked for that, we put that on, we sent him pictures, and he loved it. Never got to give it to him. But yeah, also as like what I'm wearing right now, just custom jeans that have the Louis Vuitton patches on it that you can get in Gucci, you can get it whenever else you want. And we also make artwork too. That's a side thing. We made Roddy Ricch if you're familiar with the Rolls Royce Spirit of Ecstasy, it's like the emblem on the top that comes up. We made a table in that design, and we got that for him. And as far as cars goes, I'm just privileged to like work for like a luxury fleet of where we have Rolls Royces, Bentleys, Benzes, Ferraris, like Lambos. It's fire. But yeah, that's a little about what I do and I'm going to continue to do. And I'm happy to share that.
Yeah, but that's a little about what I do pretty much. More cool things to come, more artwork. Did a little rebrand. It used to be AF and Code, now it's called Rarity. And hopefully you'll see us blow up in the future.
Great stuff.
Really cool. Yeah. Didn't expect, you to be making those for such big name celebrities nowadays. Honestly, I think anyone at school could probably recognize one of those names at least. So it's kind of surreal. I can definitely see you guys really taking it to the next level upcoming soon. Never know what it might be, but if you're getting those type of notably names, it's all end uphill. That's it.
We're just going with the flow.
All right, looking forward to see what else you do. Let's move on to our next topic. So Nick Carter has been trending in the news lately, mostly because of his recent performance with, I believe it was iHeartRadio for the Christmas special. But he's back in the news because of recently his past allegations of sexual assault have come back now that since he's performed. But instead of focusing on the women and what's happened then, Twitter and most of the internet are standing with Nick with the hashtag I stand with Nick Carter trending on Twitter. So what do you guys think of everything? Do you think that this is, and of course he denies everything that's happened. Do you think that he's in the right? Do you think that the internet's in the right for siding with him? Is this like one of those situations where it's power coming first? So open the floor.
Well, I honestly think that like this is obviously one of those situations where nothing can be taken lightly, and it's a very serious topic. And well, Nick Carter, very famous, so I can see why people would support him, but I think there needs to be more like proof or research or information for people to really get like a formulated opinion and maybe see some more facts on what's going on. Because if these accusations are true, like that's pretty detrimental to the victims' like mental health and whatnot. And also, if it's proven false, Nick Carter already had like a Christmas special canceled, so it's not good for both parties. And I think they really need to like get to the bottom of it before like the media really blows up on one side. Because once it's in the media, like it becomes a public, just big problem that people love to weigh in on, and they don't think about how other people might feel or what they're going through.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Also, scrolling through the research on this, someone commented like, the classic saying, innocent until proven guilty. So that's kind of how some people should be treating the situation. Because obviously, if he did it, it's not good at all. You shouldn't be like supporting someone who's definitely, if they've done it. But also, if he didn't do it, then like he has to prove himself first, give him the platform, give him the time in court to really get through it. Because I mean, honestly, seeing how it unfolded, it was like one allegation led to multiple. So it seems like either people were holding back information or just really trying to bandwagon or take little out of nothing at some points. Because we've seen this case with Johnny Depp, we've seen this with multiple other celebrities. Some of them have been true, some of them false. But, never know. But also, I can feel bad for Nick because this also comes off after, I think it's either a month or two after the death of his brother, Aaron Carter. One of the childhood kid stars, that recently died from unfortunate circumstances. But so I think he's still trying to be, like, he still attributes so much to his brother. And now that that's all that people can think of. I feel I feel bad because he's clearly trying to dedicate any performance he does with Jingle Ball towards Aaron, and so you can't. It's hard for it's like can't really give the man the space when all these allegations are coming out now. So it's just a horrible situation all around for him.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough situation. I can't really help but think about, I mean, it's like two, like, I want to say like pretty drastically different situations, but like you think about like the case with like R. Kelly and like there are all the allegations, like there were still so many people that like supported him and were like still by his side. And like, even like after he was convicted and like proven guilty, you know, there's still a lot of people that like still back him. And it's just so like scary to think about because like how popular they were back when this happened. What was it, like 21 years ago? And it's like to a 17-year-old girl, like that's such like a power dynamic thing. And like they clearly were like probably closer or like if not in their prime during that time. So, you know, it's hard because you don't want to like take away from the victim. You don't want to be like, well, we don't really like know what happened yet. But I think it's like so important that people just don't form like strong opinions and be like so for or against. You know, it's something that you really just have to wait and see how it plays out. I mean, I know the courts have already said that like all the allegations in the timeline, like things already like matching up, and it's, you know, nothing's really like, oh, well, that's like suspicious. So it's definitely a difficult situation.
Yeah. We, like you said, Maya, we will have to wait and see how things shake out. But on to a more fun topic to end our last show together. Holiday traditions. I would say Christmas, but me personally, I celebrate Hanukkah. So I guess I'll start with, for me, I guess my favorite tradition is not celebrating all 8 nights. We lose steam after like the 3rd or 4th night, outside of latkes, of course, or potato pancakes. What about the rest of y'all?
I mean, for me, I celebrated both growing up at different points because my grandma is the Jewish one on the side of the family. So whenever she was over for the holidays, my family were kind of like, you Jewish again. It's unfortunate, but that's just how I grew up because my dad's side was Catholic. So I grew up with Christmas whenever I went to their side of the family stuff. So not Grandma Judy, but yeah, I don't know. Like we never celebrated like only like half of the week, same thing as Ryan. But also, any type of holiday, though, we would always get matching pajamas growing up because I'm one of 5. So, 5 of their siblings. I try to think of like a single gift that could get everyone rallied together. Yeah, pajamas. It worked pretty flawlessly for the past couple of years, and we still do it, even though we're all above the age of 22 nowadays. So, it's something that I think will continue on even for our kids and stuff like that in the future.
Yeah, my family does like pretty similar things. Like I didn't even like remember it until you just brought it up, but like my grandmother always gets like grandkids like all matching pajamas. And my oldest sister is 25, 26, and like she just will not give that tradition up. So we still do that every year, and then like a Yankee swap like Christmas Eve. So just fun stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. Just like the basic Christmas stuff.
Yeah, so every like Christmas Eve, like my immediate family, we host Christmas for like the entire family. Like everyone from New Jersey and different places, they come to my house. And pretty much we just put all the gifts under the tree. Everyone brings different dishes of food and we play games. Every year I always wear like a funny Christmas sweater. That's like my thing. And then like my parents will wear matching ones. And then like the next morning, like we wake up at like 9, all have breakfast, and then we all sit and like guess whose presents or like whose, and then open it, and then have to be like, oh, thank you, and like do the formalities. But yeah, I think it's pretty standard. It's good to be around family during the holidays.
Definitely. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys for joining us. It's been a great class, and yeah, this is 20 something signing off.